Kind of way up there. Do that. All right. Well, sort of in between seasons. So we're building a new computer. And we're going to, I know, kind of a messy back there. Not too bad. So I've been getting some new parts in. And thought I'd share them with you. I won't be able to put this thing together until, was it end of the month, maybe beginning of next month, because the case, it's going to be the last thing that comes in. So we're going to build a new computer because this computer is very, very old. It's 12 years old. And in computer life, that's as old as I am. So what are we going to build? I think I've told you guys briefly before, but I got the processor in, which is the brains of the system. And so this is it. It's going to be a AMD Ryzen 7. And this is the 5700X. Now, why did I go with this? I think I've told you before, but this is an 8-core, 16-thread processor. Now, I don't game. I haven't even played solitaire on this computer. But I wanted something with a number of threads. And what is a thread? A thread is highways that allows, roadways that allows it to do multiple things at one time. And so when you edit videos, you layer one layer over another. And each one of those is a core. All right. So you're just going to be and threads. So this allows me to do multiple layers of information. Unlike, some of the competing, like the i5 12th gens, those are 6 cores with some electronic cores. So I went with this. It's fast. It is a 4.6 gigahertz max boost, which I will overclock it, 3.4 base. And that's its ability to think faster. It's basically a faster engine on that highway. So that is going to be the brain. So the brain is going to be hooked up to the body, or actually the heart. The heart is the motherboard. It's going to be attached to this. Now, why did I pick the Tough Gaming B550 Pro? Well, because of that, one, it's a good one. 2, there's a little connection right there. My case has a USB-C interface right at the top of it. And in order to hook that up, you need that particular connection. So it's a very good board. It allows for 2 M.2 solid state drives, one Gen 4, one Gen 3. Hey, Connery. And so I already have a Gen 3 in this current computer. I bought a Gen 4, which hasn't come in yet. It'll be a 2 terabyte, and I have 1 terabyte Gen 3. So this one board will hold 3 terabytes of storage space. So that's what this one board will do. The Gen 3 down here, Gen 4 up here. And that is a very, 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 these are very, 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 very fast storage drives. Especially the Gen 4 is twice as fast as that. And that one's 20 times faster than a hard drive. I know, very fast. So, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi one with this connection actually cost a lot more money. So I bought a Wi-Fi card that'll just plug in. I don't really need it. I'm hardwired down here, but it's nice to have the backup. And another thing I wanted was there's an optical out on the audio card. There's an optical out. Now, you may think, why would you need an optical out? I go, because I'm going to take, I don't use my stereo receiver in my living room, so I'm going to bring it down here, and it's a digital receiver. So we're going to run optical from this new computer to this, to that receiver, and I'm going to run some rather very expensive speakers. Let me show you. These are my rear channel speakers that I don't use anymore because I don't have surround sound hooked up in my living room. And these are a company that doesn't exist anymore called Energy. And these are a bipole dipole speaker. And just these speakers alone, just these two ran $1,000. All right, just these two. So this is the speakers, and you can flip it from dipole to bipole depending on how they're facing each other. And then I can adjust the effect of the bipole and dipole there. So these are going to be put in this room. I don't use them in the other room. So, and plus I'm going to take the stereo system out of that room anyway. So these are going to fill this little room with sound because all the speakers are facing in different directions. And that is why I wanted the optical out. So, but that's the motherboard. Now, my computer is going to have 3200 megahertz DDR4, which is what it takes, 32 gigs of memory. And this is a CL16 architecture, which is fast, very fast for 3200. About as fast as I'll ever need. Even if I went to 4000, which would run a lot more money, the difference would be like 1 or 2%. It just wouldn't be worth it. So 3200 is extremely fast. And then I'm going to power this with an 850 watt power supply. That's what this is. It's 850 watts. Pretty sure, right? Yeah, 850 watts. So that's what it's going to power it all. Now, I'm going to overclock that CPU. And when you overclock something, you got to keep it cool because it's going to run really hot. Although this is the most efficient CPU you can buy. So it can run more processing at lower wattage, half the wattage of the model up from this, half. It's extremely efficient. And so it's not going to get as hot as, the model up, the 5800X, or the Intels. The Intels just run super, 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 super hot. So you need a cooler on it. Now, I could have gone lots of different ways, from an all-in-one water cooler, which has maintenance later in life, doesn't last as long as an air cooler. So I looked up air coolers a lot, and Noctua sort of is the benchmark. But the second from the Noctua was the, what is this? Thermal Right Assassin. Now, this is, I know it's huge. So this is the Assassin right here. It's huge. It sits on top of it with two fans. It's got two fans that go on it, and it pulls air through it. It's got 6 heat tubes on it, and it is really a very highly rated cooling. It's white. Now, it has RGB as well, which is color, spinning fans that turn colors. Now, the build I'm doing is white. So the case I'm getting is white. You pay $10 more for white cases because they're not as popular as black. But I wanted the sort of that clean look. So let's put all this stuff back in the box here. It's a great, great processor. So this is just what I've gotten so far. Like I said, the case isn't going to come until the 29th. The solid state drive, that 2 terabyte M.2, is going to come in a week or so. And then I got some little things, coming, like the Wi-Fi card and stuff coming tomorrow. But that is going to be my new computer to replace this. Now, you wonder about a GPU, a graphics card. Well, I'm taking that graphics card out of this one. It's made for multitasking. It's not, like I said, I'm not a gamer, so having 24 gigabytes of memory in it and stuff is not that important. But something called CUDA cores is, and this is a really good. It's got 1,200 CUDA cores in it. And again, I told you about the cores there. Cores are a way of having a computer multifunction and create and assist in multi-level creating, including digital creating, 3D modeling and stuff like that, which I enjoy. So I'm going to take that out. In fact, two things are coming out of this. My M.2 solid state drive, which I have in here, that'll go in that motherboard, and then the GPU. So this will be, this computer is going to be a little bit deconstructed and put in here. Then I'm going to transfer the my Windows serial number here onto that, and that'll be really nice because that'll save me like $200. Hey James, that'll save me like $200 for getting 11 Pro, and you could do that. Just deactivate your current computer's licensing, which is real simple to do, and then you can reactivate it on your new one. You will never have to buy, as long as you've got a retail license number. If you have an OEM, you can't do that. But this is a retail license number, and that allows me to transfer it over to my new one, which is really, really nice. Very simple to do, actually. Just go into command prompt, type in a couple things, and that's that. And then you just put that in when you boot that one up with the flash drive that you create from Microsoft, which we'll go into as we go through this journey. Now, why am I not on the lake is because, well, I'm not doing real well physically, but the lake is 3.5 feet thick of ice. One, my auger is not that deep. Two, I could borrow the auger at the marina, but just getting out there is just a chore. And I punched 6 holes for 6 guys on Friday. It was just a lot of work. Oh, my goodness. But they were paying me for it. Well, thanks, Connery. So I just can't get out there. I'm looking forward to open water again. Ice fishing's too hard right now. It's just too hard. Hey, Rich. Hey, Leo. But I want you guys to realize, as I build this new computer in 2 weeks, I'm going to really dive into some of the graphics and stuff and really start creating things that I couldn't create before. Animation. So I'm really looking forward to creating animation in real time. And I'm very excited about doing stuff like that. I miss you too. I've been sick. My niece was on life support this last weekend, and that stressed me out last week. I was ready to go down, drive 10 hours to go down to her, but she's getting out of the hospital today, and no noticeable, brain damage. But I had a stroke again on Saturday, so I'm not, I've been struggling, so I've working. She's only 45 years old, and nobody knows exactly what caused her oxygen level to deplete so quickly. And she was found on the floor, and last Tuesday on my anniversary, and she was intubated and put on life support, and she got off life support. She was on life support Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Friday night. They took her off life support. And so it's been pretty stressful, even though we celebrated our anniversary last week, which was really, really well. This is one of my gifts, actually, is this new computer. Sort of a, this whole computer, by the way, and the wonderful thing about the computer, too, is it only costs $650. No, $750. So, I mean, this is going to be, that's because I don't have to buy a GPU. I'm using my old GPU. And so it was, it was weird last week. I went to work Friday and my boss put his dog down that day. And my coworker, his daughter was put into jail and she has drug-related crimes. And it's just, what was it about last week? I mean, I celebrated 36 years married, but it seems like the week sort of fell apart for the world, at least for the people in my world. And it was just a really bad week last week. And I just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's weird stuff, Didn't sleep well. I drank Pepto-Bismol last night. I don't know. But, for a fat man, my wife buys me a milkshake maker and my in-laws buy me steaks. Like, I lost my neck. I need to get thin so I can find my neck again. When you gain weight, you lose your neck. The double chin, the jowls, things just gets thicker up here. I need a neck. I need Nick. So I'm sorry. But you know what? Last week's over. Our flights to USA, Dad fell over and is now in hospital. I was told he had. Really? I'm so sorry, Rich. I'm so sorry. You know what? We're tougher than we look. I'll just tell you that. We're tougher than we look. I mean, look at what's happened to me. And my little niece, she, she survived it. So we're tougher than we look. We get through things with family, prayers, and optimism. We can get through it. And that is a really crappy day. So I'm sorry. But, prayers to you, my friend. Yeah. I'm sure he's tough, I'm sure he's real tough. Oh, I hate cracked tooths. You remember I had a cracked tooth? They put a crown on it over here. Yeah, I never had a cavity in my life and I crack a tooth. All in one day do, but they're sorting the flights, dads, and it's being treated, so we have to. Yeah, always look on the bright side. He's still here? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, always look on the bright side. I always try to find humor and smile and things. Hey, backlash. Yeah, terrible at computers. Actually, I started a new playlist called Terrible at Technology. That's what this one will be. This one will be on terrible at technology. And we're going to make videos of my adventure through this computing process, building this new computer and going through some of the ins and outs of it. And I think it'd be kind of fun just to make a terrible at technology thing. And so all the techno stuff, the fish finders and this and that might be fun to put on the thing. So I'm, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do stuff like that. And, this is, I have learned so much before I purchased all this. I actually talk like a tech because of all the stuff I've watched. I can tell you what all these things are on the motherboard. And it's just, it's not Greek to me. Really nice. But we're going to, when this thing gets booted up, should boot up in about 15 seconds. I mean, that's pretty fast. And it's going to be beautiful. Lots of lights. Lots of lights. So let me see if I can. I see we're on YouTube live, so I can't really screen share, but I can. Let's see. Show you on my tablet what my case will look like. It's going to be pretty. It's so pretty. It's made by Montech, Montech, and that is what it's going to look like, except with stuff in it. Yeah, it's glass on two sides, and really, really cool looking. I don't know if you can't really make that big, but anyway, it's a white case and really well made. Well, it's won case of the year on several channels, and really nice. No, I'm going to actually, what I will do is that one side is all white, and so that side I'm going to put the Terrible at Fishing logo on it. I want to keep the glass, sort of clear, so I can look inside, because I have, let's see, 4, 5, 6 RGB fans in it, and 2 RGB memory sticks, and the board has RGB on it. So inside it's just going to light up all sorts of colors. My favorite color is yellow, so we'll probably just make this, sort of rotate into the yellow and red. But you can program it any way you want. Yeah, don't put any hooks on it. Well, yeah, it's going to go right next to me. I'm going to take my printer and put it up in my wife's office, and then put because I hardly ever print down here. But I'm going to, we'll move the printer up to my wife's office, and I'm going to have my receiver down here. I'm going to put my speakers, those speakers I showed you. It's an old trick for surround sound to give sort of a big sound. When you have a bipole dipole speaker design like those are, with speakers on 3 different areas, you put them facing up on the floor. So one's going to face up there, one's going to face up over there. And what that does is that it bounces sound off of the walls, and it fills the room better than it would if they were pointed straight at you. So, and it creates more of an omnidirection of my left and right channel. Something we used to do back in electronics way back in my day. And we just, people didn't want to run wires up the walls or through the ceiling or whatever, which is easy to do in here. The effect is really cool when you just sit them facing up on the floor. And that actually worked pretty well also for a non-bipole dipole design. You can take bookshelf speakers, do the same with it. And the nice thing is they push up, they cone out, and they bounce off the walls, and it creates an omnidirection. So it's actually pretty cool. The fish is really big, and Bella went upstairs. And yeah, Bob is getting real big. I have to get some more food because he's running out of food. He's a big boy, though. He's a big boy. So where is he? There he is. That's my goldfish. It's only one. You can see he's sort of divided up there, but this is Bob. Bob, my goldfish. I took another shot this morning, so you saw my syringe there. I put it in my little syringe thing. But it's a really nice. There's a real nice motherboard. So it's gonna be really, really good when we get all this stuff done. And You guys will see me go through this, which will be kind of neat. So if you ever want to, if you ever want to build your own computer, building your own computer is pretty easy. I mean, the last computer I built, oh my goodness, it had, oh my goodness, had to be 20 years ago or better, before the kids were born. So 22, 23, 24, maybe 25 years ago was the last computer I built. And that was one from scratch. And it was probably a 486 DX, or something like that. It was before Pentium. And back then, every few months, there was like the XT came out, was the first one. And then we had the 286 CX, and then the DX, and the 386, and the 486. And every few months, the technology was moving so fast back then. It is stabilized a lot. But back then, you couldn't keep up with computer technology. I mean, it changed so quick. Software changed so quick. Windows wasn't even invented yet. Everything was DOS, and we overlaid our own operating, Windows on top of our DOS, which basically is what Windows is. Windows is still DOS. And it's just overlaid. That's why you can go to the command prompt whenever you want. That's DOS. Okay. Windows is just a putting lipstick on a pig. It's just dressing up DOS to where it's easier for you to work and open windows and multitask. Where DOS is it's still DOS. In fact, Apple ran on DOS, an IBM system when they first came out. In fact, when I was in college, Apple was still IBM. They hadn't created their iOS yet. So it's just, this is 12 years old too, Connery. This one's 12 years old too. It's a Xeon processors, 6 core, which has done very, very well for me. It's only at 2.6, so this is actually gigahertz. This new one's going to be twice as fast. And when it comes to the speed, but it has more cores, it's faster technology, faster memory, more memory. This only has 12 gigabytes in it, this computer here. And and then the SSDs. Everything will be running off of solid state drives. I can add more drives, solid state drives, all I want. In this new computer housing that I've got, the case, I could put 5 more drives in it. So plenty of room to put as much as I want in it for storage. 5 more drives, and including 2 hard drives. So I put 3 more solid states and then 2 more hard drives. But it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm really, really looking forward to. You can see all the, all the other tech. I could see all those. I mean, that's all. Sorry about the mess, but that's, believe it or not, it's not as bad as it looks. But there's my 3 fish finders. The Garmin Striker 4, the 7, and the M1. So we can sort of arrange some of that in TerraBullet technology. Sort of move that down, or even my tablet. I think I did a video on the tablet too. We'll sort of do a little rearranging. But the computer is going to be, it's a big undertaking. If you notice in Terrible Technology playlist too, is we did Becca's, my daughter's, and we spent hours on it, and it didn't work. Come to find out, there was a cable that was in the wrong spot, and we fixed it, and it worked. But she really likes it. She did an i5 Intel 12400, which is their 12th gen, and it does really, really, really well. It's a beautiful cabinet too. I mean, it's not going to be as beautiful and flashy as mine, but she did a cube. So she went with a micro or a micro ATX, And it's just a beautiful, well ventilated, super, super cold running system. Very, very, very nice. I wanted to get the glass version of that. It just didn't cool down as much, and I really want to overclock my CPU. So I had to go. I'm going with a much better airflow case in order to have the ability to push my system a little harder without damaging it, and let it run within its parameters. So it'll be fun when it's all done. And uh, uh, I wondered about changing this monitor. This is actually television, and the only reason to change a monitor, there's two reasons to change a monitor. One, it's broken. It's not. Two, you want it better looking. And you don't know what's better looking until you get it. Right now, I'm happy with it. But if I got a better looking one, I wouldn't be happy with it. It is a 720p monitor. I know. But again, I don't game. All right. So if I went with a 1080 or a 2K or a 4K monitor, it would be a better looking picture. Hands down, it would be gorgeous. But this doesn't look bad. It looks good to me. So until this thing craps out on me, I won't be buying a new monitor. I mean, it's 32-inch too. This is a 32-inch monitor. See, look at you can see. Oh, you see. Look at infinity. It's infinity. It's a 32-inch monitor. I mean, so that would cost me about $200 for an IPS 32-inch. I just don't think it looks fine. Again, you don't know. I couldn't go with a smaller monitor because it would make it feel so small. If I went with a 24 or 27-inch, it just feel tiny. I'm like that. I'm like tiny. And plus, I'm nearly blind. I need big. So I'd have to buy another 32. And so this one right here, it works fine. Again, you don't know what's better until you get it. And why do that to yourself when you don't have to? So until this craps out, we're not buying a new monitor. I thought about maybe two 24s, and this way I can have run dual monitors and run like my footages over here, and then drag them over to this monitor into the editing station, and sort of do that. That would be kind of. I actually thought about that. Do two 24-inch monitors. And that would run me about the same amount, about $200, $100 each. And it would be a better picture. The thing is, though, I like bigger everything because I can see it. So, yeah, I edit. I'm the same way, Connery. I'm the same way. I mean, I edit. I mean, like I said, I've never even played a game on this computer. I've not even solitaire. I had to look the other day to see if it even had solitaire. So I don't play games. I mean, I play it on my tablet. One game, Vega Conflict. That's it, and which you can play on Steam, but it's very different. When I'm on Steam and on this. So I'm no big deal. It's no big deal. But I like this monitor. It's 17 years old. This TV is 17 years old. But it has HDMI. That's how I've got it hooked up, is HDMI, and it's maxed out at 720p. So I can't do any more with this monitor than this. But my daughter, she bought a 27-inch Tough Gaming Asus 2K, and it's a beautiful monitor. It really is. And if I had it next to this, I would hate this monitor. If I actually put that monitor next to this, I would dislike this monitor. So guess what's never going to happen? It's never going to go next to this monitor because her monitor will make my monitor look stupid. It'll make it look like an old CRT. But for those who don't know, that's the old tubes. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. It looks fine. I'm happy with it. And until this craps out, we just won't touch it. Um, we'll see how my old GPU graphics card works in the new computer. I'm sure it'll work fine. But until it craps out, I'm not going to change it. With my computer, my new computer, really upgrading the GPU would be the only sensible thing to do with it. Um, and really, that's just for more CUDA cores. And a high CUDA core count GPU would run me $500 in a Quadro 4000. And so Quadro core cards are very, very different. Usually designed to hook up with Xeons. I don't know how it would coordinate well and talk to an AMD processor, because this one came with a Quadro, but a very low gigabyte one. And I bought this Founders Edition 6 gig card in this one in order to up my CUDA core count, in order for I could do 3D art and editing and stuff like that. So, but I'd like to do some animations in real time. I think that would be a lot of fun for me. We're heading into that off season to where the ice is going to melt, this and that. I'll be off the water for months. We're going to do more painting. You can see some of the baits I've already painted. And we'll do some more painting, getting a spring line going into as we enter spring into May. So it'll be May until we get back on the water, I think. It's just so thick. I mean, yesterday at the lake, it was snowing really hard. And it's kind of warm here. We're in the low 40s here. I know that doesn't sound like warm, but you do acclimate. But I don't know. It's just, we just got to we'll figure it out. Off seasons are the worst. So, but with the new technology, spring line to paint, I think that would be really nice. I don't need to buy a new camera. My daughter bought me this camera. It works really well. I got this like light ring thingy up here. Your vision. Oh, nice. Nice, Connery. I'd love to find some, there's some open water, but the lake down here didn't produce much. So, but yeah, we'll get it done. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the new playlist, Terrible at Technology. I wouldn't start another channel called that because doing one channel is a lot of work. Doing 2 channels would drive me nuts. So creating just a playlist on this channel is reasonable enough for me. And I can't do 2 channels. You'll catch something. Always go small. If you're not catching anything, use a small bait. Throw a rooster tail out there. Rooster tails catch everything. And just a small little rooster tail, throw it out there. Bass, trout, crappie, everything will hit it. A small little jerkbait, tiny ones, like I painted over there. Just little ones. I'm out of focus. Focus. So anyway, it's supposed to be a good one. It is an autofocus camera, so oh well. But yeah, just to throw something small out there, Connery. You'll catch something. All right, me being out of focus at the moment. Let's see. There we go. I'm in focus. All right, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for popping in and hitting thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And we're just going to wait for more parts to come in, and then in the beginning of April, because the case should be here the 29th, and everything will be here by the 29th, and come at the end of the month, the 30th, because I won't. So what day of the week is that? Let's see. The 30th is a Thursday, huh? Yeah. Comes in the 29th. We could do it the 30th, build it on the 30th. So we'll probably do that. We'll probably build it on the 30th. And then, or the 2nd. 30th or the 2nd. I don't know if I can wait 3 days, but we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, we'll see you guys. Thanks for stopping and hit the thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's not fishing, it's technology, but I love technology. 30 years in tech. I always loved it. So just because I love fishing doesn't mean I can't be a nerd at the same time. I'm a fishing nerd and a technological nerd. In college, I wrote a computer program to do my math homework. That's how much of a nerd I was in college. I actually wrote a computer program to do my matrix math, algebraic homework, because calculators didn't do matrix math. And I figured it's such a redundant system. I did it. I did it anyway. You have a good one too, Connery. Have fun fishing. Catch something. Go small and catch lots. Take care.